If politics makes for strange bedfellows, then Donald J. Trump makes for strange politics. My example can be found last Saturday as Quebec Premier François Legault addressed the youth wing of the Coalition Avenir Quebec during their convention in Lévis. Now, he gave a speech that touched on any number of subjects, but sooner or later, and indeed inevitably, Legault had to talk about Trump, his tariffs, and their effects on the Quebec economy. Now, before I go any further, I have to remind you that before François Legault became head of the CAQ, he was a PQ cabinet minister and an ardent separatist. So much so that his former colleagues in the PQ referred to him as a sovereigntist in a hurry. So imagine how surprising it was to hear that same François Legault on Saturday say the time had come to work hand in hand with the federal government, that the stars had aligned to Quebec's advantage. The Prime Minister of Canada understood the economy. The finance minister is a Quebecer. The industry minister is a Quebecer. Even the PM's chief of staff is a Quebecer. Everything seems to be going for Quebec's way, and the last thing on earth you want to do is mess that up. However, he added, the last thing you want to do is vote for the PQ, for Paul St. Pierre Plamondon. He said quite openly that, he accused Plamondon of having no other political agenda than to make sure that relations with Canada fail and to make sure that Quebecers realize that as far as he's concerned, Canada is broken. And Legault left the choice up to his audience. Now, people who follow politics in Quebec know to a certain extent this is a Hail Mary play. The CAQ has been trailing the PQ by 10 points for months now. François Legault is desperate to find a way to get out of that. The good news is he has 16 months until the next general election in Quebec. That's plenty of time to go after Paul St. Pierre Plamondon and the one element of the PQ's platform that plays right into Legault's hands, i.e. Plamondon's pledge that should a PQ government be formed, its first mandate will see a sovereignty referendum. No ifs, ands, or buts, no qualifications. It's the big weakness of the Parti Québécois and one you will see people hammering away at in the weeks and months to come. But in the end, it's difficult to predict what exactly is going to happen. There is a factor in Canadian politics which transcends Quebec, which transcends Ottawa. It isn't François Legault. It isn't Mark Carney. It isn't Paul St. Pierre Plamondon. The biggest factor in Canadian politics right here and right now is Donald J. Trump.